Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Digital Nomad World weekly series. I'm Becky, and I'll be your host. And today we're going to be speaking with Joe Fallon about co-living and adventure retreats in paradise. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much.
I'm very excited to speak with you and reveal to everybody where you are in paradise, Joe. So maybe we should talk about that first. Where are you, Joe?
I am in Koh Phangan, a small island in the south of Thailand.
All right. And for those who have been following along, listening to all of our episodes, we recently interviewed somebody about why Koh Phangan is so great. So check out my interview with Valerie Lowe. But Joe, you've been living there for years. So I'm really excited to first hear about your background and how you started your digital nomad journey and ended up in Koh Phangan.
Sure. So it started as a backpacker back in 2008. I started on a trip, and Koh Phangan was one of the first destinations that I went to as a backpacker, and I just fell in love with it and ended up keeping on coming back to Koh Phangan multiple times. Fast forward a few years, I started a travel company called TruTravels, which did adventure tours for backpackers. And we started off in Thailand. And the first tour we ever did was from Bangkok to Koh Phangan. So again, I chose to stay in Koh Phangan while we were building this business, and it sort of became home over the years. And I was using it as a base to grow the operations of TruTravels and moving throughout Southeast Asia. And like we were starting tours in the Philippines and Vietnam and Laos. But again, I'd always come back to Thailand and I'd always come back to Koh Phangan, and it would always feel like home. And everybody asked me, you travel to so many places, you go all over the world. Why Koh Phangan? And I guess that's why it just always feels like home. It always felt like the place I wanted to be when I came back from these other destinations that I was fortunate enough to be traveling to.
I mean, I guess like what makes it feel like home to you? Because there's so many islands in Thailand. There's so many like places in Laos, Vietnam, these places you've mentioned that also have beautiful spots. Why does it feel like home, would you say?
Sure. I mean, in terms of why it feels like home, that's a difficult one because it's sort of intangible. But why I like it is because it's not too busy. So you've got the likes of Koh Samui or Phuket that are larger islands, and you've probably got access to more things like hospitals and shopping malls and cinemas and stuff like that. But you've also got traffic jams and things that come with being in a busy place, loads of people, queues for things. You've got that to some degree in Bali now. I mean, Bali is a very big digital nomad hotspot, and certainly in Canggu, where there's a lot of people, is starting to become traffic jams and stuff. So I think Koh Phangan has got enough stuff on it. It's got enough infrastructure. It's starting to get really good restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, co-working spaces, good internet connection, access to the beach, lots of sports, water sports, Muay Thai, yoga, lots of vegan restaurants, healthy restaurants. So there's a real good balance of stuff on the island without it being too busy. I think that's what is a big draw for me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I'm wondering, when I hear about Koh Phangan from people, one thing I do hear is that it's hard to find affordable accommodation these days, and I want to bring in the space that you've created because I'm curious what you're offering there. Like, can people stay at this space that you've created, and can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. Well, we have a resort called Tiki Beach, which is where I am now. It's actually pouring with rain outside in the background, so it's not quite
A nice
looking like.
counterpoint. My paradise, your rain, but hey, both are
But yeah,
experiencing.
it's called Tiki Beach. It's a beach resort in Bantai in Koh Phangan, about 5 minutes south of the pier where all the main ferries come into. In the resort, we've got a beach, we've got a swimming pool, we've got co-working spaces, we've got a garden gym, we've got steam room and ice bath, we've got a pickleball court, a pool table, loads of stuff. We do morning workouts, we do quiz nights, we do digital nomad meetups on a Thursday, we do a group nature hike to somewhere on the island on a Saturday morning. So yeah, we try and it is a resort. It's not an exclusive co-living for digital nomads yet, but we are getting many more digital nomads in now that we've sort of started making it more nomad friendly. And now that we've got DNA, which is the other company, we've definitely started gearing the resort much more towards the co-living sort of vibe. But it's not quite co-living in the sense that you'll be with the same people for a month in the same villa or the same house or whatever. So yeah, it's still a resort. It's got loads and loads of stuff to offer. We've got a really good community here. We're trying to build more of a community of digital nomads and entrepreneurs in Copenhagen. One of the things that a lot of people listening might be thinking it's, Koh Phangan is known for the full moon party. Or perhaps Koh Phangan is known for the yoga retreats. And yeah, they're right. Koh Phangan was famous for the full moon party. It's also well known for the yoga and the healing centers and stuff. But one of the things that we're trying to do with DNA, which is Digital Nomad Adventures, the other company that we've got going now, is trying to change that perception of Koh Phangan a bit. Now there are more co-working spaces in Phangan than there are in Bansko. And the internet is better here than it is in my house in London. So there's things, the amount of coffee shops, the amount of great restaurants, gyms, all of that stuff. There's things that make it a really good place for a balanced lifestyle. The cost of living, although yes, the house prices have gone up a lot in the last couple of years since COVID, because the demand has just been higher than the supply. There are a lot of houses being built on the island at the moment, which is bad because of the development, but good because the prices will go down because the supply is getting larger. So, I mean, yes, the prices have gone up, but it's still very affordable if you compare it to most of the places in the sort of Western world.
It really does sound like you have so many things. And Valerie also talked to us about like the full moon party. I think a lot of people go, they have to do it once. They check it off their list as a nomad. They come in and then they're like, yeah, I've done it. And now I'm going to get more into the nomad community there.
Yeah, exactly. And especially the nomads coming to the island, they're here for a while anyway, right? So even if they go to the full moon party, they're here to see the rest of the island. What I used to hate when I was working in the backpacking industry with TruTravels was the people that just came to the island for one night, did the full moon party, and then left again, because then they never got to experience how beautiful the island is and how many sides there are to it. And so I think partly because of that, it did pick up a bit of a bad rep over the years, because many thousands, many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people only saw this one party with 20,000 drunk backpackers at it, and they didn't experience the rest of the island. So yeah, it's getting over that sort of stereotype that it's or that perception that it's only for sort of drunken backpackers is part of the challenge that we face now.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're working to change that with Tiki Beach. So can you talk to me about the capacity at Tiki Beach? Is it part hostel, part resort? I know you called it a resort. So what kind of accommodation can you find there?
Sure, we've got 33 rooms and we've got two dorms. So 33 private rooms and two dorms. So we only have two 7-bed dormitories. So there's 14 dorm spaces. And then there's 33 doubles, twins, and triples. So we've got room for about 75 people in private accommodation.
Okay. And if I want to book, are you on booking.com, like all the regular channels? Or I know also you mentioned DNA, like Digital Nomad Adventures. As a nomad, is it better for me to kind of go in through that?
Sure. Well, there's two ways. I mean, it depends how long you're coming for and what you're looking for. I mean, you can definitely book directly through the Tiki Beach website, which is tikibeachkopanang.com, or through one of the booking platforms. If you want to come through DNA, one of the things we do with DNA, as well as the conferences which just finished last week, we had Beach Meets, which is our every 3 or 4 months, we run a 5-day event where we bring together digital nomads from all over the world, showcase the island, share knowledge, make connections, and just help each other get closer to our goals. One of the other products we have with DNA is an island pass. So that really is for someone who wants to come to the island, who just wants to plug straight in. It gives access to 3 co-working spaces for a month, unlimited access. It gives access to our community, so access to our meetups, our weekly dinners, our weekly hikes, mastermind sessions, workout sessions, all of that, so you can really plug straight into the community. It gives you access to discounts from our partners. It gives you a couple of freebies like wakeboarding lesson, cooking class, things like that, so you can experience the things on the island. And if you choose the co-live package rather than the community package, it also comes with accommodation, either at Tiki Beach or at one of our partners. So that really is like the one-stop shop. If you're looking for co-working, community, and accommodation, and you want to be productive, connected, and active, then the passes through digitalnomadadventures.com is where you want to go. If you're just looking to book a week or a weekend or whatever at Tiki Beach, then tikibeachkopanang.com is where you want to go.
Okay, so the passes are only through Digital Nomad Adventures.
Yes, yeah. That's part of building the nomad and entrepreneur community here, which is still done in partnership with Tiki Beach, but it's the different sort of arm.
Okay, for those people who are not aware of like the seasons of the island, what would be the busiest time of the year? And if I want to book and be at Tiki Beach itself, like how early should I try to book into this?
That's a good question. Everybody thinks that the rainy season here is like the summer months in Europe, but it's actually not. It is in parts of Thailand. The busiest season is January, February, March. Definitely from just after Christmas until the end of March is peak season. Right now at Tiki Beach, we're already full for New Year, just for the 30th of December till about the 3rd of Jan. Already 100% full, and many places on the island will be already. But until the end of March, it's pretty busy. Drops off a bit. Then rainy season here tends to be October, November. Rest of the year tends to be mostly dry, apart from this afternoon. And yeah, that's the quietest period. Quietest period is October, November. Busiest January, February, March.
So you're open all year round. I know some people
All
are.
year round.
Okay. So would you say like, it's better to come in the summer or like the European summer to miss this
Yeah.
like busy time? Because I know, for example, Chiang Mai, Hoi An, other big hot spots for the nomads, they get too hot. There's a period of the year where like probably should avoid it.
Sure. I think here the hottest period is sort of April, March, April, May time. And then actually in the June, July, August, it gets a bit more manageable. And there's a bit of rain, but not too much on this side of Thailand, of the peninsula. So yeah, I think those months are good. June, July, August, or even, I mean, the busy months are very good. That's why they're the busiest, right? January, February, March tends to be like really nice temperature, nice weather, lots going on.
Thank you for explaining that. I know people don't think about these things when they've never been to Thailand, for example. Really, it's important, especially, if there's some particular thing like a monsoon season that you should just avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that it's different in different parts of Thailand as well is something that most people don't know. So we always get people asking us, is it monsoon there, when it's actually not? So yeah, you're right. And if you look at the iPhone app, usually it's got pictures of thunderstorms, even if it's not. So don't go off the iPhone weather app.
Okay, that's a good tip. Now, if I am staying at Tiki Beach in that area, because I know the island has a lot of things in different parts of the island, what's the best way for me to get around the island? Like, should I rent a scooter? Do you have scooter rental? And what about food? Do you serve food there? Or like, is there a lot of restaurants I can walk to? I myself, I'll admit, I'm someone who does not ride a scooter. I'm a little bit afraid of being in an accident, so just want to help other people.
Sure. Sure. Well, yes. I mean, the easiest way to get around here is definitely riding a scooter. I mean, there are taxis everywhere, so you can certainly get taxis and they're not stupidly expensive. You can get e-bikes now. There's some e-bikes, like bicycles with motors. There are even the little e-bike trike things with 3 wheels that a lot of people are renting now, who just sort of don't want to ride the 2 wheels because they're not used to riding bikes, but they want to get from A to B. I mean, you're not getting anywhere quickly on those things, but you can still get from A to B easily enough. So yeah, transport is motorbike, e-bike, or taxi, or walking. Walking distance, there are a few restaurants near to here, but to see most of the island, you would want to get some form of motorized transport because there is so much to see. Good thing about Bantai is it's no more than about a 20-minute drive to anywhere on the island. So we're pretty central and we're by the beach. There's a few other resorts and restaurants from here that you can walk to, and a 7-Eleven, so you can get to the basics. And yes, there is food at the restaurant here. So we have a beach bar and restaurant that does really good Western and Thai food.
Fantastic. Now, more about the retreats, like you were saying, or I actually looked at your website, and on the Digital Nomad Adventures website, it says, join our community and level up with us. So can you talk about
Mhm.
leveling, like how am I leveling up if I join a retreat?
Sure. So one of our products, the Adventure Retreat, what we do is we travel actually from Bangkok down to Koh Phangan. So it's a tour in essence, but it's combined with a personal development retreat. So we have a program that we call the Success Blueprint, which talks about mindset for success. Basically, we're talking about vision and goals. We're talking about getting outside of our comfort zone, incremental improvements, redefining mistakes and learning from failure. All these sorts of topics that are really important to success in any area. So we actually go through this program as we're traveling from Bangkok down to Koh Phangan. And each day we have a discussion topic of the day and a few different exercises that we do whilst we're traveling down, getting to know each other, seeing the sights and doing some cool activities. So that's the adventure retreat side of things. But the level up side also means, like, when we come to the conferences and we're doing keynotes and we're doing skill shares and we're doing masterminds and we're sharing skills and helping each other get close to our goals, and also our online members area where we have access to some content, some mini courses, some challenges, some more in-depth courses about things relating to digital nomad life and entrepreneurship. So there's many ways you can level up with the DNA community.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah, there's nothing like being right alongside somebody who's actually already done it, you know, some business model you want to go after. Yeah, your level up is so much faster.
For sure. And even just getting the feedback from the people that joined the last beach meets, right? We had such a wide range of people, from people right at the beginning of their journey who were looking to make it as digital nomads, starting new businesses, changing careers. And then we had people right at the other end of the spectrum who just sold businesses and were looking for something else to do, or were looking to pass their knowledge on, or wanted to come and talk about their field of expertise and share their knowledge with other people. So we had a real mix, and it was so great, the amount of people who came up to us and said, this was just what I needed. You know, I've just got the spark for my next business. So I've just got the confidence to go out on my own and start freelancing, or set up my own thing, or just found someone who's going to work for me, or just found someone to be a mentor or that I'm going to work with. So yeah, there's so many great things of coming and connecting people, and so many great things from people, like having a bit of a safety net of people here for others who aren't as far on in their journey to come make the leap and sort of live the life here with mentors and people to ask advice from.
Incredible. So I'm wondering, like, I'm going to put you on the spot. Don't know if you can think of something off the top of your head, but you were mentioning there's you know, an exercise that you do every morning or something. Could you give us an example of one or two of these things? Because I'm trying to picture what you might be doing and how you would start the day with these.
Sure. So one day we are talking about morning routines. So we would actually do some sort of morning routine where we get up and do some meditation, some yoga, go for a HIIT workout or swimming or whatever. One day we're talking about getting clear on your vision and goal setting. So one of the getting clear exercises might be the three most important questions, which is something, I think Tony Robbins first did it, and then Mind Valley were doing it, but you ask someone their three most important questions. So what experiences do you want in life? How do you want to grow? And how do you want to contribute to society or to the world at large? And you got 50 seconds or 90 seconds to answer each one of those, and you just write. So then you're just writing. It's instinct. You're getting clear on what it is, the experiences, the growth, and the contribution that you want. And then you can start to form a bit of a vision from that. Have you heard of the Ikigai, the Japanese sort of theory around finding purpose in one's life?
Oh,
It's like the
yes.
crossover between what you're good at, what the world needs, what you're passionate about, and how you can earn money, or something like that. So we do an exercise related to that one day. Then when we're doing the goal setting, we would do exercises whereby we help people start from the big, ambitious moonshot vision and then break that down into, right, what's the 5-year targets that will see me on track to that? What's the 3 years, the 1 years? What's the quarterly goals? What's the monthly things I need to be doing? What's the daily or even the morning routine things that can get me 1% closer to my target if I adopt this into my routine? So yeah, lots of exercises like that. I mean, sometimes it's just a discussion when we're talking about manifestation, just a group discussion. We just open it up to the group, say, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? Here's what this person thinks. Here's a few studies that have been done, and we open it up for a group discussion. One day we might do a mastermind session where we break up into groups of 4, and everyone has 15 minutes to discuss a particular hurdle that they're facing at the moment, or a particular problem, and get feedback from the other 3 people on their group about that. So there's many different sessions, activities, discussions, and exercises that we do throughout the trip.
Love that. Do you feel like there's enough time in the day for people to also do their work? Like, could people easily carry on their normal work days while also
No,
being?
no, not really. With this one, we tell people certainly for the first 4 days when we're traveling from Bangkok down to Koh Phangan, to block any calls off and be out of office, because there isn't time in the day to do the work during these things. And I mean, that's why these particular trips are more targeted. Your aspiring nomads, your sort of startup founders, and people who are at the stage where they're not having to be on calls every day, but they want to be motivated and get advice off people and be in that environment where they're getting their mind in the right place for the next challenge in their life, whether they're changing careers or changing business or going remote. So these products, certainly the tours or the adventure retreats, are focused more on the aspiring nomad. The island pass is definitely more for the existing nomad, and the beach meets, which is the conferences, are for everybody. That's the product mix for DNA.
Okay, I'm very glad that you broke those down because I think a lot of people can't or they don't think, oh, I can always just mix work with what with the retreat or whatever. And it's good that,
Mhm.
very clear at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually something we're working on off the back of conversations we had this week, really, with people at the event, is making that clearer on our website. I think that we thought we fell into the trap that a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people do. When you know something, you think it's obvious, but actually you need people to look at it with a fresh set of eyes. And yeah, I think one of the jobs that we're doing at the moment is making that clear on our site, and the customer journey being more defined around, if you are aspiring, these are the products for you. If you're existing and already further along in your journey, these are the products for you.
Yeah, and we always try to do everything, and you learn multitasking is not always possible in this digital nomad life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm curious, what is next on the horizon for Digital Nomad Adventures? Do you have any trips already planned or specific retreats for people?
Sure, yeah, we've got a trip coming up in December with a guy called Sergio, who you might know, Sergio Salah. He's quite big on the digital nomad scene. He's a YouTuber.
We've had
Um,
him on the show. I don't have an episode number, but if you guys put in his name and our name, you're gonna find our interview.
okay, I'll
You
find
too,
it.
Joe. Watch our interview with Sergio.
I will. I'll definitely look that up. So we've got a trip we're co-hosting with him in December, which is what I just described, the adventure retreat, but with a YouTube twist. So we'll be doing the success blueprint, but he'll also be sharing some of his nuggets of wisdom and some of his learnings on how to start and grow a successful YouTube channel. Then in December, we've got a next beach meets. So from the 17th to the 21st, we've got our next conference, which will be 50-ish nomads from around the world coming together for those 5 days. And then from any time from now into the future, we have the island passes. So there's no start or finish date on them. So that's like the flexible co-living product.
All right. Yeah, you're coming into busy season, so I imagine there's going to be a whole lot going on. So, but there's
Mhm.
still space on these things that you're mentioning because I know, like, really, when you go to Thailand in the busy season, you need to plan in advance and book your spots in advance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is still availability. Luckily we have the control of the accommodation because we own Tiki Beach as well. So we can block spaces out. But yeah, it really is first come, first serve, because the island passes are just the accommodation. When the accommodation's gone, there are no more island passes either. And with the December beach meets, ticket sales open this week. So we're expecting quite a few of them to go straight away.
All right. Well, I'm curious, Joe, what is your favorite kind of adventure to go on yourself?
Hmm. One which I'm not organizing.
Is it scuba diving? Like, are you into the scuba diving side of things on these islands, or
Yeah. I've done some scuba diving. I'm not an addict. I've done a bit of it. I've not sort of like gone full power into the scuba diving. I'd say actually my favorite adventures are kite surfing. So we go on kite surfing trips quite a lot. We were in Sri Lanka with a bunch of friends and my instructors and my pals that I kite surf with here in June, and that was amazing. We just did 2 weeks of just solid kite surfing every day. So that's pretty cool. I love an adventure like that.
that is certainly an adventure. Okay, and I have to ask, like, when talking about something like kite surfing, if you're taking some of these nomads on adventures, what are your plans around if there is an emergency? Because I would say, of course, everybody needs to have travel insurance when they come on this retreat. I'm sure
Of
you
course, yeah.
hopefully that people have it before they arrive. But yeah, you mentioned like some other islands will have like hospitals or bigger. What is the medical situation in Koh Phangan in terms of like where you'd go if there was an emergency?
I mean, in Koh Phangan is good now. It's good. There are 3 or 4 decent sized hospitals in Koh Phangan, so you can get good emergency care here. If it's a real emergency, they might put you in a speedboat over to Koh Samui, which have international standard hospitals, and that's just a 30-minute boat ride away. So it's pretty good. Obviously, Bangkok has got world-class medical care.
Oh
When
yeah.
we're at Sok, it's a bit out in the sticks. It's a little bit removed from civilization, but again, it's no more than an hour or so. And I mean, if you're traveling in countries like Thailand, you're never going to be always near a hospital, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. just kind of keep it
Mhm.
in the back of your mind.
For
But it's
sure,
good.
we've always got an emergency plan in place. And I mean, my background's doing adventure tours, right? We were doing adventure tours for backpackers.
Yeah.
So we always needed contingency plans because we're taking thousands of backpackers through these same routes. So yes, we definitely always had a plan. We definitely always had a route to the nearest hospital or clinic or whatever it is nearby. Fortunately, the digital nomad demographic is lower risk in that sense than the backpacker demographic.
Yes, yes, for sure. Well, it's great to know that, and that there's also hospitals available even on the island. So thank you for
Yes. Yeah,
that.
yeah, it really is. It really is so much better now. Like in the last 10 years, it's just come on leaps and bounds.
Fantastic. And a question about mosquitoes. Are there mosquitoes on the island? Do you have a dengue fever thing that we should worry about? Because I've been to Koh Lanta and it was something we should be aware of there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There is dengue fever on the island. It tends to come in waves. So it's here for a couple of weeks and then it disappears again for 6 months, 8 months, or however long. But yeah, you do have to be careful of mosquitoes. There are mosquitoes around. I mean, because I've been here so long now, I never put on insect repellent, and I think I've had dengue once in the
Okay.
10 years I've been here. So it's not like it's a common thing at all. Like you can be unlucky. I've known people that have got it in their first week here, and that's horrendously unlucky because, as I said, I've been here for 10 years and I've only had it once. I think I didn't even get tested. I suspect I had it once.
Oh yeah,
So
just another thing for people to be aware of. You just bring the spray.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
But again,
Some
if you've
bug
never been to
sprays,
Thailand,
some long pants.
yeah, if you've never been to a tropical area with dengue, it's like just something to, be a
Yeah,
little.
and sunrise and sunset time is when they're the most sort of prevalent, and when they're feasting on human blood. That's when the time to look out for them the most is sunset and sunrise.
For sure. Thank you for that. Okay, so it's been so great to talk with you, Joe. I want to ask, is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we go? Including, can you also tell us where to follow you or where we should go to check these adventures?
Sure. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram if you want. I am Joe in Panyang. You can follow Tiki Beach, which is Tiki Beach, Koh Phangan. And you can follow Digital Nomad Adventures, which is Digital Nomad Adventures _ all on Instagram. Um, what do I want to tell you about? Beach meets in December. I'm hoping everyone will be coming to beach meets. We're doing there's a bit of an Asia loop going on with Nomad events starting soon. I don't know if the people listening will be familiar with some of these events. I'm sure they will. Nomad Cruise is starting in Vancouver this year and finishing in Japan in the middle of October. Then you've got Coliving Fukuoka, which is towards the end of October, the final week of that, the main week of that. Then Nomads in Paradise in November in Siargao in the Philippines, and then beach meets in Koh Phangan in Thailand in December. So I'm going to be going around that circuit, and I'm hoping to see lots of people that I know already and lots of you guys listening to this on that circuit too.
Oh, that is what an amazing winter that would be. So aspiring nomads, current nomads, check it out. There's still time to probably book onto some of these things.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us, Joe. I wish you all the best with all of the meetups and retreats you have coming up and hope to meet you in person one day.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you at Bunsko or one of these events at some point. If not, then you're more than welcome to join us on Koh Phangan whenever you're passing through this area.
Yes, can't wait. Thanks, Joe. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much.